The Nuke Egg is another popular egg pattern. The Nuke Egg originally came out of Michigan, but it's really used throughout the Great Lakes region and really does a great job. But it really serves as an attractor fly as well as an egg, I think, as most of the egg patterns do, as Jerry touched on. But one of the things we've been using this fly for around here is tying them into really smaller sizes and fishing them in low, clear water. They're a little lower profile, lower silhouette of a fly and create a really neat impression in the water. But regardless, it's a good fly and well worth tying and fishing. I'm going to tie this pattern today on the Tiemco 105. Just really a good hook for it. But the Daiichi 2170 will work, or even the Daiichi 1530 also. The thread I'm using here is a flat wax nylon, which actually may be a little heavy for this size 10 that I'm going to tie, but it'll still work really any of your standard threads. But it's a good idea to use a brightly colored thread on this. And what I'm going to do is basically start the thread, and I'm not going to go too far back on the hook shank, because this being a very, very simple fly with really two components, we don't use up much of the hook shank there. But all I'm going to do is take some dubbing, some brightly colored dubbing, and you can utilize almost anything, but this seal or seal imitation, the pseudo seal or what have you, really seems to work well for this yolk spot is essentially what we're tying into this fly. But I'm just going to dub a small little ball of dubbing in there. Really nothing to that, just a little ball of dubbing. And then I'm going to take some standard egg yarn. Usually we use a very light colored egg yarn. You don't really want any of the bright stuff. You use either white or the egg color, or even an Oregon cheese will work, but one of the lighter colors for this. And basically we're going to lay that egg yarn right behind the eye, right over the thread, lay it perpendicular to the hook shank, and take a couple of wraps of thread, and I can even crisscross, make an X there. And then what I'm going to do is just pull this egg yarn back along the hook shank, using my fingers almost like hackle pliers, and kind of help to distribute that egg yarn right around, help it to splay around the hook shank. And then I'm just going to wrap my thread backwards to help lay it back a little bit. And really, that's all there is to the Nuke Egg. I can come in with my scissors, trim this egg yarn about even with the bend, maybe a little bit less. That egg yarn hopefully splayed right around the hook shank, and I've got a Nuke Egg. Now, one difference you'll see in the way that I finish a fly as compared to the way Jerry has shown you how to finish a fly. I use a half hitch tool as opposed to a whip finisher. One is no better than the other, it's just personal preference. I find it real easy just to have my half hitch tools here. I take one wrap, two wrap around that half hitch tool, slide those loops right down and over the eye, pull it tight. A lot of times I will put a drop of cement right up there to help secure it, and trim the thread, and you've got your Nuke Egg.
If you like this video, hit subscribe. It helps out a lot. And check out these videos. We think you might like them too.